My name is Will Cord and I'm the host of Ready, Set, Renovate. Our podcast is produced in the upstate of South Carolina where I happen to live and our business, Daniel Builders, is located. Ready, Set, Renovate is dedicated to making home renovations a delightful and drama-free process. Drama is fun when it's on HGTV, but not so much fun when your own home is at stake. We discuss real-life home renovations and all they entail while equipping you to edit out the renovation craziness. Along the way, we pack in some inspiration for your own home. How many different trades does it take to pull off a successful remodel? Well, we're talking to two who helped us pull off one here recently. They are Cindy Jacques of Buttercup Design and Paul Nichols of Upstate Granite Solutions. We'll hear from both of them as they helped us produce a project that the client loved. So let's get to it. Thank you for being with us, Paul.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Really excited about this conversation. Paul, we recently teamed up with Upstate Granite Solutions, we being Daniel Builders, and we came to you for not one room, two, but multiple rooms on this particular project. 2 bathrooms, a master bathroom, so I guess 3 bathrooms, kitchen. It was a pretty sizable project, and you guys were involved in all of those rooms. Talk a little bit about your role in that project.
Yeah, so well, we first of all want to thank you guys. We've been working with Daniel Builders for over 6 years now. We've enjoyed working on this project immensely. Had some unique challenges. One is the large island, and we're seeing just such a trend for people wanting large islands, and this one was well over, in our terms, 800 pounds. I recall the island wasn't just a big island, but it had a notch with a column that came out of it that we had to template for and make sure that we got that cut and fabricated just to fit right into place. And our guys hit that out of the park. It was really neat to see one of the bathrooms, not only a large island, but they wanted a large sink. And that sink was oversized for even the cabinets. And so we worked with you guys on trimming that cabinet, making the sink fit in so we could get our tops in. I remember in I think it was the master, they had a bump out on the cabinet and then an upper cabinet that went on top of the granite. So, there's multi-layers there. We have to template it one way, cut the backsplash on site to kind of fit in with the upper cabinet. And so it's, we're working with your guys are working with our people on site, and it went real well with that particular case. It was really neat because this customer didn't want to just stick with one color. We were able to do several different stones throughout the house, and it really made a nice product at the end.
Upstate Granite Solutions, tell us a little bit about the culture and values that you've established there.
When I started this company, I started it 10 years ago because I went shopping for countertops. And I really just had a frustrating experience because my questions weren't answered. I didn't understand the pricing structure. And so that led me to kind of create my own solution to my problem. I put the name Solutions in my company because I wanted to be the solution for people's needs. We have our own in-house design team, and they're not commissioned, which is a little bit different than a lot of our competitors, but that allows us to just go more of from an education standpoint, explain to them what the process is going to look like, answer those questions without the pressure.
Sure.
As a company, we strive to find out what the customer is looking for by asking the right questions, and then our goal is to guide them to the right stone because ultimately we want them to be happy. As a company, we're very blessed to have multiple price points, multiple different types of stone. And so we really try to find out from the customer what is driving your decision. Is it a price? Is it a color that you're looking for? Is it a timeline that you're trying to stay within? We have material that's lower price point but still good quality, all the way up to luxury, high-end designer type stones, if you will. We have an inside showroom with hundreds of slabs. We have, remnants that we can walk them through and help them pick out. And it's more of a catered experience for that customer.
When it comes to maintenance of countertops and granite, give us some insight on how to do that.
Yeah, so granite In marble, quartzite, those are all natural stones which are porous and need to be maintained. With a sealer, and some of them are softer than others, they can etch. And that is, again, where the education comes into play. We want to explain these things to the customers ahead of time. Quartz is a man-made stone. It does not require sealers, but it is not heat resistant like a natural stone would be. So we, again, try to educate the customer.
What would happen if it encounters high temperatures? That's
great. So if quartz countertops, if you put a pan right out of the oven on there, it's very likely that's going to crack, or it's going to start to basically melt the polyester resins in that stone. The quartz is very hard and durable, but it's mixed with polyester resins, so those resins could flash and could change the texture of the stone, and it could even crack the stone. But with a natural stone, the biggest thing, a lot of people maybe don't want granite or marble because of the opportunity for staining, but our lifetime warranted sealer that we put on is just great because it protects it from any kind of, something that would get on the countertop that could potentially seal it or stain it.
When it comes to somebody getting in touch with Upstate Granite Solutions, how do they go about doing that, and what would be a good fit for your business?
Yeah, we work with all kinds of retail walk-in customers as well as builders, remodelers, realtors, but we're open to the public, and the best way probably for someone just to look and find more about us is our website, upstategranitesolutions.com.
One cool trademark of the business is the American flag out front.
Right.
That thing's huge.
It's pretty big. It's 6,000 square feet.
Wow. In your background, you're a veteran, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm a disabled veteran. I was medically retired after about 5 to 6 years in the Army. But I'm very thankful for my upstate home, coming back to Greenville, South Carolina, and being able to start a countertop company to meet the needs of the upstate community.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for coming on, Paul. Great conversation.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
I'm here with Ashley Street. Ashley, thank you for taking time to come on and talk about your remodeling project. Ashley is a client of Daniel Builders and has plenty of good information to share about that whole experience. What were your goals when it came to remodeling your house?
The goals were to have some more space so we could entertain and have an open concept. The big things we needed a new kitchen. We needed all the bathrooms updated. We needed a staircase that wasn't treacherous. And we needed the laundry upstairs.
And then after you knew what you needed done, it came time to choose a builder. What were the qualifications you looked for?
Well, the qualifications were reputation. We went strictly by that. And Daniel Builders came with the best reputation. And we also had 2 friends use them, and we saw their works in progress. And we didn't even get any other quotes. We just went all the way with Daniel.
So it was a referral from friends
Yes.
that actually sealed the deal for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go over and see the work that was going on.
Yeah, we went and watched the work in progress. One was right next door.
That helps.
That helped.
Kind of very familiar with the team.
Yeah.
Well, going into the project, talk about some of the concerns or questions you had, the uncertainty of what to expect that you wanted to better understand.
We've never built a house or renovated. So we went into it not knowing what to expect. And Daniel Builders made it very easy. I think our big issue was budget. We definitely wanted to stay within the budget and get it done the way we wanted it done. And that happened.
It did happen.
That happened.
Well, overall, now that the remodel's complete, how would you describe your experience?
Okay, the experience was wonderful. We hardly had any glitches. And when we did, they were addressed and they were dealt with right away. We didn't have any slowdown on the renovation.
And you felt like the communication went really well?
The communication was great. They stayed on schedule. We had a week-to-week plan that they were following, and it was followed to a T. Daniel Builders made it very easy. We told them what we wanted as far as bedroom, bathroom, and they gave us 4 plans. And we all agreed on one, and we just took it from there.
Talk a little bit about the timeline of this project.
We were in 6 months, and it was a big renovation. There were a few months of detailing the plans and the selections, But once that was all over, the renovation took 6 months.
What was the experience like living through the whole remodeling process? Because you were around the house a lot, but you weren't living in the house,
No,
right?
we had a rental that was furnished. So we did that for 6 months. But we were 10 minutes away. So
Are you glad you
basically,
did?
between two of us, we were over here all the time.
You were actually seeing this transformation happening day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And was that an emotional roller coaster at all, or was it just an upward trend? Hey, I'm getting really, really excited about what I'm seeing.
The emotional part came when I came in and it was all gutted, pretty much the whole house. But then the build back was very exciting. It was great. It was a great experience.
Well, through the project, did you develop somewhat of a relationship and more rapport with your project manager?
Yes, Clay, we did. We loved Clay. Clay came over to the rental house. He brought the cabinet man to the rental house, which was way out of the way. And he had it all under control.
This project required a lot of design work. Talk a little bit about that whole process.
Well, I was very nervous going into the design work. I'd never done anything like that before. So I went into it blind. Cindy Jacques helped me tremendously.
Well, it turned out beautiful, and we'll show our audience just how beautiful it is when Cindy Jacques, the interior designer, takes a tour of the house.
My name is Cindy Jacques with Buttercup Designs. I am here to show you the street project. The streets were really concerned with turning this home into a more functional home that took advantage of the beautiful lake views and making this home more open to entertaining for their family and friends. Because it was a whole house renovation, we spent a lot of time on the front end thinking through that whole floor plan, traffic patterns, storage, all the things that go into that. If that floor plan wasn't right to begin with, it doesn't really matter how pretty we make everything if it doesn't function well. We worked with the architecture team with Daniel Builders and trying to develop some schemes that would work for them. And then once we have that nailed down, then we can go into the selection process. Once we get those floor plans decided on and we go through the selection process and we get all of the selections made for the project, the design team will put together elevations and renderings that show you exactly what the space is going to look like. And then you can tweak things at that point before you ever start into construction. So this is the beautiful kitchen renovation for the street project. And this was a big part of the entire project, as there are so many selections that go into a kitchen, so much detail, so much thought and design. And this was a wall with a door. And this was a porch before. And that forced the dining area to here, which forced all of the kitchen to here. And it was very tight. One of the things that we did when we were developing the floor plan was talked about removing this wall and making this the dining room, allowing us to have a huge island, which was really important to them. And then bonus, we got to add a really nice pantry so that she has tons of storage and lots of areas for people to sit and for her to entertain. The streets have a very unique design style. The home is traditional. It's just a southern ranch, beautiful brick home. Ashley in particular likes a little glam. She likes a little bit of lightness, but also some moodiness. And so we were able to accomplish that with the fixtures and finishes. So we used a lot of golds and some black, even just the style of the cabinetry. So we were able to use a flat panel, which is a different look. It's not the traditional shaker. We didn't want to go too modern because we wanted to keep in line with the house. We were able to do that with keeping it a wood grain and not doing a painted finish. The cabinetry Palmetto Pines did for us. As we designed the cabinetry, we really talked to Ashley about her needs for storage and just what's going to make your daily life function in the kitchen a little bit better. Some of the specialty items that we did in this kitchen design are these pegboards that go right in so that you can put your dishes in this nice big heavy drawer. We used a Cambria product on the countertops that we got from Upstate Granite. It was very important to Ashley that everything was smooth, easy to clean. That was the same thing for the cabinets. Our plumbing fixtures came from Gateway. We used Brizo, Blanco, a lot of different manufacturers. We also got all of the hardware from Gateway, these nice little pulls that are sleek. We used the Viking range, which is huge and so great for entertaining. Ashley loves to cook, and so we wanted to give her every opportunity to make something fabulous, along with the griddle, the pot filler, the hood. Then we used just a really simple white backsplash to try to kind of bring the ceilings up. They're 8 feet, so we wanted to kind of bring them up a little bit, taking that backsplash all the way to the ceiling. One of the things that we really wanted to add to the project that we just kind of ran out of space was for bar storage, and so we were able to add that into the cabinetry. And we do this little pull out. We have several with different size little slots for big bottles, small bottles, even wine glasses, cocktail napkins, that kind of thing. Everything is neat and tucked away. One of the pain points of this home before we started the renovation was the staircase and the access into the lower level. There was a really tiny, really narrow, very steep staircase back this way down the hall. We wanted to figure out a way to access that lower level because she has so much space down there in a safe way and a more beautiful way. And so this area here used to have a floor that just went straight over. And this was kind of like a little office nook that really, it was kind of dead space. Valuable space is right here by the front door. And so we were able to shift all of those items to a different part of the house and build this beautiful staircase that comes down to a landing and around into the lower level. Once we were able to relocate those stairs to the front part of the house, it freed up some space in this hallway. And one of the issues that the streets had before we started was that the laundry washer and dryer were in the garage. And so having to go up and downstairs with laundry was an issue. So we wanted to get that moved upstairs. And because we had this area available, we were able to tuck in a little laundry room area here with some barn doors for easy access to the washer and dryer and some storage up there. And it just works so much better for her to be able to do her chores. Welcome to the street guest bathroom. We just love the gold and the marble look together. The cabinet hardware, this beautiful arched mirror, and the lighting. We got all of the lighting from the Gallery of Lighting in Greenville. One of the things we had talked about doing was just removing the beadboard and just having sheetrock in here. But kind of at the last minute, we made the decision just to keep it because we wanted to kind of give a little nod to the original house. In here we have this beautiful shower with penny tile on the bottom. All of the tile came from Clayton Tile. So one of the things about these charming older southern ranch homes is there's just not much storage, and that was a big issue for Keith and Ashley. Originally there were 2 small closets here. They were very narrow and she had them extremely full. So that was a big issue for her, was to build a bigger closet. By moving the staircase and all of that, it freed up a little bit of space behind. And we were able to do this nice big walk-in closet for both of them so that they would have plenty of space. Welcome to the street's master bathroom. So this area we were very tight on the footprint. We couldn't really add any space, but we wanted to make it more functional, as their vanity that they had before was just a single vanity. And with 2 people trying to use that, there was very little countertop space. And so that was the most important part of this renovation on this bathroom, was to build this huge vanity with lots of storage. And we just love the mix of that pretty blue with the gold. And then we did this beautiful shower with a nice little bench that you could sit on, and those same champagne bronze fixtures. And with the clear glass, it really made the whole bathroom feel a little bit larger than it was before. We were able to add some specialty items in the cabinetry, one of those being outlets right here in the back of the drawer, so you could keep your items plugged in at all times and not have to have anything stored on your countertop. We were able to add those same outlets in the tower, and they just have so much more storage now. One special item for this bathroom that we've seen a lot lately, a big growing interest in bidet seats. So this is something that you can add to a toilet. It doesn't have to be its own unit, it's just a seat. So we are now on the lower level of the street home, and we are standing where the staircase used to come down. So it used to come down like right here. It was very steep, and it came down and dumped out right here. And because we were able to move those stairs to the other side of the house, it opened up this nice little office area and hallway that goes into the guest bedroom and bathroom. And then this way goes into the garage or outside to the lake. In the lower level, we have a guest bedroom and bathroom that we were updating. So we got a new vanity, countertop, plumbing, the mirror, and the lights, and the toilet. And this used to be just a half bath, which was not super functional for them. So we were able to turn this into a full bath, adding this tub shower unit. And then on the floor, we did an LVP, and we actually did this LVP throughout the entire lower level and just brought it on right into the bathroom, which is a big money saving tip. We are now in the backyard at the Streets home, and you can see where the original covered porch, which used to extend all the way across, is now enclosed, and that's the dining room space that we started in today. The windows were added, all the paint colors were matched. Daniel Builders was able to finish it in a way that it looks seamless, and it looks like that it's always been that way. And now we're back inside. The view that we were just looking at from the outside looking in, this is the area that we were looking at, what used to be the porch and is now the kitchen and dining area. I hope you've enjoyed the tour today. I hope you've been able to see how much detail went into this renovation. And if you have an interest in a renovation yourself, I would highly recommend the Daniel Builders team to help you through that process. You will never be alone through the process. We will guide you the whole way through the selections and through the design and even through the build, so you'll know exactly what's coming when. As easy of a process as you can make a renovation.
Are you interested in remodeling your home? Well, reach out to us at danielbuilders.com and we can help you get that process started.